Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. In a previous video, I invited you guys to ask me any question you liked. And, well, I'm terribly sorry, but it's almost 3 months after that, and I'm finally here about to answer them. Now, there's a number of reasons why I haven't actually recorded this video up until now, but it's probably best we don't get into detail. I mean, I want to just get on with this video. The main reason, though, is mostly down to nerves. It's also like stuff like this house hasn't been empty, and, well, I just got up today. I was going to be finishing off Resident Evil 2 today, but I got up today. My parents told me that they were going to be out. Everyone's out the house, you know. Poured myself a drink, a little bit of rum and Pepsi. Don't mind if I have a sip. Oh, maybe that a bit too strong. Decided to get my camera running, recharge the batteries, get the old question Q&A kind of script out that I was originally going to use a few months ago, and just get this bloody well recorded. Right, so before I start, just one thing I'd like to note, actually two things thinking about it. First off, well, I'd like to thank everyone that congratulated me on getting 500 subscribers. Another reason why I've put off recording this is, well, I've mentioned this before, but I got so nervous because I got far more questions than I expected to get. Far too many. I mean, it's not too many really, but, well, the camera that I'm presently recording on, I had 1 GB memory card for it. Turns out that could only record about 20 minutes, and I tried to record this originally, and I think I got about 1/5 of it done in 20 minutes. So I've had to since purchase a larger memory card, and, well, now what's presently inside you is a 16 GB memory stick. Second thing I'd like to, well, actually, going back a bit, 500 subscribers. I'm now past 600 subscribers, and I've had even more more congratulations for that. So I've got to issue more thank yous, I guess. I'm not going to be doing a 600 subscriber special, although I do have a 700 subscriber special in the works. I kind of felt that 600 subscribers came a bit too soon after 500 subscribers to do another special. I mean, I only just got round to actually recording this, for fuck's sake, so yeah, like I said, I've got a 700 subscriber special in the works, and I should have had that uploaded more or less as soon as I get 700 subscriber specials. Fingers crossed. So the second thing I'd like to say before I start is, well, I just want to apologise if I pronounce any of your usernames wrong, or any of your names wrong. I mean, I have a terrible reputation for, like, pronouncing usernames wrong. It's like, most of the time I'll know how to pronounce them, and then it comes up to, like, the time I have to pronounce them, and that kind of logic goes flying out the window. I mean, recently, like, my previous part of Tomb Raider, I pronounced Eternal Zella's name as External Zella for some reason, and I only realised that after I was editing back my video, you know, so I always make fuck-ups with usernames. So anyhow, let's get on with the question. Look at this. I'm shaking. So bloody nervous. Hopefully I'll have a chance to talk about why I get so nervous during this. I mean, there's quite a few questions that tie into this. Okay, so first question, and I'm sorry if any of these were in the wrong order, by the way. I just pulled them off kind of backwards, actually. So it might be that I'm answering the latest questions first, as opposed to, like, the earliest ones. I mean, I've had them on YouTube, I've had them on Facebook, I've had them on Twitter, I've had them on Google+, so I've had to take them all off various sites and stuff like that. So the first question comes from Iamanda, and her question is, why do you have prettier teapots than me? And of course, she was referring to the teapots that I had in the background of my previous video. And I can honestly say, I can't take any credit for those teapots. They're not mine. They're my mum's teapots. To be honest, teapots aren't my kind of thing. You know, I'm not a big tea drinker really, so yeah, I can't really take credit for those teapots. They are a nice colour though. They're a nice colour. So second question. The second question comes from the Furry Gamer, or Vale. He asks, did you put teapots and shit in the background of your video to look more British, or were they already there? And I think I pretty much just answered that question. They were just pretty much there. It seemed like the best place in my house to do some recording while people were in, you know. I don't really get much time alone, home alone, generally, you know, because there's my little brother. He's ill most of the time. He's 10 years old, he's in school. When he's away at school, my mum's always in. When she's away, my stepdad is in, you know. So, and sometimes when none of them are in, I'm actually expecting her soon, but my grandmother is in, or my nonna, as I prefer to call her. Anyhow, I got way off track with that question, haven't I? Next question. Did you put on... sorry, this comes from Rudar. Did you put on nice clothes for this video? You look awfully well dressed for casual. Sorry, a bit of hiccup there. People often comment on the way I dress. I mean, in the previous video, yes, I was very well dressed. I tend to dress how I feel. I mean, if I'm feeling shit, if I'm feeling completely and utterly shit and I'm ill, I will wear clothes that kind of reflect that to a degree. I will wear comfy clothes, stuff I can just lounge around in and feel comfy, content, you know. However, if I'm in a good mood, and, you know, it's a nice day, I will wear waistcoats, I will wear ties, I will wear blazers. You know, I just like to look how I feel. Now, when I was a kid, I always used to play The Sims 2, as a matter of fact. And I would always dress my sim up really well, and I thought to myself, I would think to myself, I wish I could dress like that. Then one day it kind of hit me, I can dress like that. I can dress however the fuck I want. I can go out, I can buy clothes, and I can look like, you know, I made my sim look. So, generally, I like to take full advantage of clothing that I have, you know, access to. I mean, today it's a bit cold. I mean, it's December, for fuck's sake, so I'm wearing kind of like a nice little hooded top, a little wintry scarf and stuff like that, so... Generally, yes. I didn't dress up for the video, that's just how I normally dress. I don't really go out much as well, so... yeah. Anyhow, moving on to the next question. This comes from Laser2112. That might be Laser, actually. Laser... He has two questions. First question is, what's the scariest thing that's ever happened to you? Well, okay, scariest thing that's ever happened to me. I know just the story. Okay, when I was about 15, I went on a date. Fantastic date, wonderful date. I went to the cinema. And after we watched the film, me and my date, we went to the car park of the cinema, and we went to the very top floor of it. Now, we were sat on top of the car park talking. They were kind of sat next to me, and we were actually on the edge of the roof. You can see many things that can go wrong with this, right? Yeah, they were sat on the roof next to me. We were just talking, and then I can remember this very vividly, and it's horrible to think about. They started to tip backwards, and I, seeing this, grabbed them, and literally they must have been about 90 degrees over the bloody edge before I managed to grab them, so they would have fallen if I wasn't there. They would have fallen and died, because it was about 4 stories tall. And that shook me up so bloody much. That's the scariest thing I can think of off the top of my head. As a result of that, I have a fear of people walking near edges and stuff like that. So if you ever get a chance to hang out with me, or if you know me in person, stuff like that, you know, do not walk near edges, because that really does shit me up. Because it just reminds me of that so much. God, it's a horrible experience. I can't think of anything that's been scarier than that, to be honest. I mean, I did go to Go Ape, which is essentially like a I can't really describe it. It's like an obstacle course, but up in the sky. I went to that when I was about 16 for one of my friend's birthday parties, And I have quite a big fear of heights, to be honest, but I don't let my fears drag me down. That's one thing about me, one very important thing for me. I have many fears, but I do not let them hinder me, or I try not to. I mean, sometimes I won't get in lifts, as stupid as that sounds, you know, like elevators, because they scare the shit out of me. But generally, I try my best not to let them hinder me, because I don't think fear should hinder anyone. But yeah, I went to this Go Ape thing, and that was like a bloody obstacle course in the sky. That took me ages to get around, but I got around it in the end way later than all my friends did, probably about 30 minutes after them. I think it took them like about 45 minutes to get through, and it took me about an hour and a half or something like that. But I got through it. That's the main point. Now, the scariest thing that's happened to me in regards to Let's Playing is probably doing my Let's Play of Resident Evil 2 with the liquor being on the other side of the one-way mirror. The one-way window, sorry. It was a mirror on the other side. That's what one-way window. Sorry. You know what I'm on about. Yeah, because generally I wasn't... I was expecting it, but wasn't expecting it at the same time, because I kind of was like, okay, I know exactly what's going to happen here. And then I was about to exit the room, and I just let my guard down, and that scared the shit out of me. I don't think I've ever actually thrown my controller up in the air while playing a game. Apart from Alone in the Dark for the Xbox 360, there's a part in that whereby like a dead body hits your window screen, and that scared the shit out of me. I quite like that game. It didn't get very good reviews. Or just generally a very good reputation. I think it's a good game. Try it out sometime. It's one of my favourite horror games, to be honest. Right, his second question. I'm sorry if I'm getting way off track with these. This is why I need a lot of recording time, because I don't tend to stay on track with these questions. I go off at a tangent, but I suppose it's a good thing in a way, because you get to learn more about me. Second question. Who is your favourite character of all time? Oh, God, yes. This is the question I struggle with the most. This is the question I struggle with the most across all the questions. Main reason being is I kind of... Well, generally, like, if I think about some of my favourite games of all time, Final Fantasy VIII, we'll take that one. I kind of think about the characters. There's Squall, there's Zell, there's Quistus, there's Selphie, there's Irvine, and there's Renoa. Now, I kind of look at those and I think, which is my favourite out of those 6? I like them all. And I really struggle to pick out one character and say, this is my favourite because this, that, and the other. I like them all equally. And that's generally how I am with most games. Now, I can name a few characters that I really am fond of off the top of my head. I love Link, as in Link from Zelda, but only in Majora's Mask and Twilight Princess, so I kind of don't pay attention to any of the other games. I like to pretend that Twilight Princess is actually a direct sequel of Majora's Mask, though it probably isn't. I like Kirby. Kirby is awesome. Kirby is one of my favourite characters. Kirby is just so fucking adorable. I want a Kirby. I know I'll never get a Kirby, but I can dream. I can dream that I have a fucking Kirby of my own, and I can just hug this Kirby and be like so fucking happy all the time because I have a Kirby. Another I like is Chris Redfield. I really like Chris Redfield. However, I recently played Resident Evil 7. Yeah, Resident Evil 6, the latest Resident Evil, and I didn't like him as much in that. I like him in 5, I like him in 1. I kind of like him in Code Veronica, though I haven't played much of that. He's just a very sort of down-to-earth character. Kind of very masculine, very... has a terrible voice actor in Resident Evil 1. But yeah, Chris Redfield, he's pretty awesome. Another I can think of isn't actually a video game character, I just realised that. Vin Diesel. I love Vin Diesel. I actually brought Wheelman, a game called Wheelman, just because it had Vin Diesel, and I was like, God, I love his voice. I can get off to Vin Diesel's voice. He's a bit sexy, really, isn't he? Lara Croft. Yeah, she is easily one of my favourite video game characters, particularly after playing Tomb Raider Legend. Yeah. I also like is it James? James from Silent Hill 2? I mean, he's a very kind of interesting character. You have to play the game to understand. I don't really want to spoil any of it for you. So, if you haven't played Silent Hill 2, it's one of my top 10 games. I highly recommend it. I could explain why, but that'd be going a bit far off the question, really. So, yeah, James from Silent Hill 2. I think it's James Sunderland. I can't remember. Anyhow, let's move on to another question, shall we? I need to scroll down a bit. Right, so, okay, next question. It's from Trilby Manetti, I think that is. And he asks, with a soothing voice like yours, how flattering, how long do you think it'll be before the radio stations start chasing after you as the next big host? I have considered radio. However, you don't see how much trouble I have beginning to record what I do. I suffer from terrible nerves, and I require a bit of this. A bit of, this is rum. It's about that much rum. Yeah, about that much. I require alcohol. I'm presently listening to music, though you obviously wouldn't know that. I sometimes do during my Let's Plays, but I'd never mentioned it before. This is the first time I've ever mentioned it. I listen to relaxing music. Just keep me calm. I mean, I'm fine. I am absolutely fine. I was about to say brilliant then. That's really blowing my own trumpet. I am absolutely fine recording after I've got going. And I think most people are, really. You know. But at the beginning, you may have noticed sometimes I'm really nervous. I stumble with my words. I can't get them out. They just come out in the complete wrong order, and I say the most stupid things near the beginning of my Let's Plays sometimes. I can't help that. And I think, if I was doing a radio show, how would that work out? Because I need takes. I need takes to do my shit. Sorry, I'm just going to have a drink. Yeah, I need takes to do my shit. Like, sometimes it will take me, like, about 50 or some shit like that. I think the largest number of takes it's ever taken me to do something was Silent Hill. The first part of my Silent Hill. I think that took me 100. 100 fucking takes. Imagine how long that took me. Sorry, losing my breath a bit there. So yeah, radio. No, I'm not going to be able to ever do that, I'm afraid. As much as I'd love to. One of my friends, actually a few of my friends host radio. Yeah. Next question. Still same guy, Trilby Manetti. If you decided to make any other content besides Let's Play, what would it be? Oh, sorry, that's the question. Yeah, what would you choose? Sorry, I misread that. Well, most of you won't know, but Let's Playing isn't the first thing I did on YouTube. Yes, I did start doing gameplay videos. I was quite fond of gameplay videos. You can find those on my second channel, though not the original ones. I started continuing doing them like a year after recording my original batch. Don't know why I got it back into it when I've got Let's Playing going. It's just so I don't have enough work to do with Let's Playing. Yeah, so gameplay videos. What else? I enjoy writing reviews. But I can find it gets very tedious. I don't like doing things whereby I can go back and edit things, because I will go back and I will edit them constantly over and over again and never actually get anywhere. I mean, with Let's Playing, spontaneous, I'm not doing post-commentary or anything like that. I can't go back and I can't re-record anything, so I can just do it straight away, if you get what I'm saying. I mean, like, I can only do it once when I'm doing it first time, so, you know, I'm very, like most people, I'm very, what's the word, critical of my own work. So if I was writing reviews, I would go back and I would think, no, that's shit, and really it would be absolutely fine. And I will go through and I will edit it over and over and over and over, and eventually it'll just end up making no sense, and I'm like, why the fuck did I do that? So that's why I'm best not doing that kind of shit. Now, one thing that I've always wanted to do is comedy sketches. I come out with some really good comedy sometimes, and I've never had a chance to put that into practice. Actually, I tell a lie, I did start doing some comedy-based stuff when I was in high school. Though, maybe we can get this running. Maybe I can do some comedy sketches. I'm sure you guys would find it amusing. I mean, I've done a couple of videos on this channel which are comedy related, but I come up with some really bloody good ideas sometimes, and I never get a chance to. I used to have a massive list of bloody comedy sketches that I could do, and I don't know where the bloody hell they went. I need to stop swearing so much, don't I? Next question comes from Aggressor Peanut, and he says, "Do you like pickles?" In capital letters. Pickles. Do I like pickles? I do like pickles. I like both kind of pickles, because you've got the English pickles and you've got the American pickles, haven't you? English pickles are pickled onions. American pickles are gherkins, as we call them here in England. Now, gherkins are pickled cucumbers. I like both of them. Although I'd say pickled onions, I can eat those on their own. Lovely. Bit sour, I'm not too fond of sour foods, but sweet pickled onions, oh god, they are fantastic. Yeah. Get that shit inside me. But gherkins, pickled cucumbers, whatever you call them, not on their own. Like them on burgers, veggie burgers in my case, due to me being vegetarian. But yeah, there you go. I answered a question in regards to if I like pickles. Next question comes from the Hiroshima 75, and he asks, would you rather date Lara Croft or Jacqueline Natler? I think that's quite an easy question, really. Lara Croft. I mean, who in the right mind would date Jacqueline Natler? She is completely batshit insane. Maybe after a load of therapy, a bit of counselling, perhaps rehab, many drugs, maybe she'd be alright, but, and she treats men like shit, doesn't she? She really does. I mean, she has her way with Lawson and all that stuff. She is a bit of a minx. Maybe I can keep her down, I don't know. No, so I think I'd still prefer Lara. Specifically Lara Croft from Tomb Raider Legend. I'm going to mention Tomb Raider Legend a lot, aren't I? Alright, next question. Same guy. Do you want Tina Von Rotter, fellow Let's Player, as your wife or just a friend? Well, if I'm going to be dating Lara Croft, I don't think it would be appropriate for me to then go and marry Tina Von Rotter. Though, yes, Tina is wonderful. She is really nice. She's a really nice girl to talk to. And she's also one of the reasons I got into Let's Playing. She is pretty bloody awesome. I love her videos. If you haven't already checked her out, she's quite a big name on YouTube. So if you're a fan of Tomb Raider, I'm going to go ahead and assume you've actually heard of Tina Von Rotter. Yeah, she is pretty awesome. So yeah, I think I'd rather just keep her as a friend, though I'm sure dating opportunities might be in there somewhere. You know where I am, Tina. Right. Next question comes from Kyle Jackson, and he asks, he says, I have a question for you. How do you choose the games that you do Let's Play videos of? I would say very poorly, for the most part, due to the number of Let's Plays I've actually cancelled. I don't know how to answer this otherwise. I tend to think of games that I think, it's kind of hard because I've never played them before. So I don't know whether or not they're going to go down well or not, most of the time. I mean, I kind of think, I don't know, I let you guys pick most of the time. I mean, I go based on your recommendations. Like, I'll go for, let's pick out a Tomb Raider. I thought, okay, I played that as a kid. I roughly know it's kind of a good game. Although I did that with Soul Reaver, Urban Chaos, Crash Bash, all the others I bloody cancelled. Sorry. Yeah, Tomb Raider. It has depth to it. It's quite a lengthy game. It has levels that I can kind of do in chunks, you know. So generally, it seemed like a good game to let's play. It's kind of hard to... I'm sorry, Kyle. I'm terribly sorry, but this is quite a tough question to answer. Yeah, let's move on to another question. Anthony Spriggs asks, if you could choose one retro game to come back and be remade for current gen, which would it be and why? Now, something funny about this is I've actually wrote down my answer here from when I began writing the script for this about 3 months ago, and that's Streets of Rage. Now, since then, I've found... well, I knew for a fact that there was a project in development. It's called Streets of Rage Remake, and found out about it about 4 years ago, I think. And by that point, Streets of Rage Remake version 4 was out, and I gave it a go. You could download it. You can still download it, I think. Streets of Rage Remake 4, version 4. I played it, and I thought, this is kind of disappointing, to be honest. Don't like it. So I stopped following it. Now, about 2 weeks ago, I thought, I wonder how that project's doing. So I decided to look it up. And, well, actually, I'd heard news about it being given the kick by Sega, because obviously it's Sega's game. They didn't want them making a Streets of Rage remake, generally, because it would ruin their opportunities to do so. And they did that about a year ago, so I thought, maybe I should give the most recent version of this a go. I mean, it's leaked onto the internet. It's called Streets of Rage Remake version 5, of course. So I downloaded it. And oh my god, it is brilliant! It's all I've ever wanted from Streets of Rage. I mean, like, it takes the best elements from all 3 games in the series. There's 3 Streets of Rage games, for those who don't know. Streets of Rage... Sorry, I better explain, actually. Streets of Rage is a beat-em-up game that's on the... that was originally on the Sega Mega Drive Genesis kind of area, you know. It was made... The 3 games were made between 1991 and 1994, but that's the general gist of them. It's very bare-bones fighting, you know, you walk through streets, you beat the shit out of enemies. It's all I could ever want from a game, really. But Streets of Rage Remake, oh my god, it is brilliant. It's like the game I've always wanted. I'd go as far as to say, like, I never want to play a Streets of Rage game after playing Streets of Rage Remake. It is that bloody good. It has all the features I'd ever want from it. Yeah, they've done such a bloody good job with it. And I'm like, Sega, what are you doing? What are you doing, for fuck's sake, banning this fucking project? They've been working on it for 8 years. 8 bloody years. And Sega's just like, no, I can't do that, I'm afraid. Maybe they saw the game and thought, wow, this is bloody good. They're gonna fuck us over big time. You know, we should work on our own project for this. And yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I'd go as far as to say it's in my top 10 games of all time now. So there we go. That is a game I would like to be remade and has been remade. So no need to no need to go into detail as to, you know, why I would like that game remade, because I pretty much explained it right there. Second question from me is, have you ever heard of the game Eternal Darkness, Sanity's Requiem before? And yes, I have. It's a game for the GameCube, as Anthony explained here, and, well, I did have it. I didn't play it that much, but by god, it was a good horror game. It was a good horror game, and I would like to let's play it. I would love to let's play it, because, in my opinion, Eternal Darkness, from what I've played of it, it's very much on par with the top, like, set of horror games. You know, Silent Hill, stuff like that. It is on par with it, which is pretty damn good for kind of, you know, gaming, horror game standards. So, yeah, I hopefully I might get a copy of that. Pardon me. I might get a copy of that and give it a go sometime. I mean, there's a lot of other horror games I'd like to do let's plays of. Sorry. Hiccups. Yeah, there's a lot of other horror games I'd like to do let's play of. Hopefully we're going to be getting onto those next year.